Hello everybody and welcome to Game A Dayer. It is day 198 here on Game A Dayer. My name is Step and today we are going to be playing the Westport Independent. I have had this one on my radar for a while. The Westport Independent is a censorship simulator taking place in a post-war country governed by the recently elected Loyalist Party. As the editor of one of the last independent newspapers in the country, your job is to remove and edit the content of your paper, affecting the people's opinion of both the rebels and the government, I assume. This game has mixed reviews and is available on Steam for $5.69. So we are going to jump right in and play it. 0010. Coffee Stein Productions. Okay then. The Westport Independent, a game about censorship, corruption, and newspapers. It's very stylish, I think. Your game will be saved automatically between each week. Okay. Alright. Love it. This is a work of fiction. Names, characters, groups, businesses, places, events, and incidents are either the products of the author's imagination or used in a fictitious manner. Any resemblance to actual persons living or dead, or actual events or groups or places is purely coincidental. I highly doubt that. Propriety, loyalty, morality. So, we are supposed to... week 0. We are 12 weeks left until the public culture bill comes into force. Alright. Denied articles. You've got mail! Dear editor, Phil has been putting up more loyalist propaganda in the office. You know, I can't stand this shit, so I decided to pull it all down. It should be on your desk together with this note, Frank. Okay. Tutorial article number 1, article 2. Loyalist government pursues harsher actions against suspected rebels. Public culture bill has been passed. Frank, Julie, Phil. Okay, so we have to give out articles known for having doubtful opinions of the government. Went to community college, worked abroad as a freelance writer. Comfort, opinion, loyalist suspicion. Interesting. Comfort, opinion, loyalistic, and suspicion is non-existent. Lives in the Western Districts, lives with disabled brother, went to private college. Lives alone, no college education, lives by the Eastern factories. Opposed the Loyalists before they came into power, so he's got some suspicion. And Anne lives in the Eastern factories, married, went to community college, and she's also not very suspicious. So we've got 2 quasi-loyalists and 2 quasi-rebel supporters. People's opinion, loyalist suspicion, popularity. Huh. Alright. These are the basis of civilized society. Can we just... Alright, tutorial article 1. Censoring. One of the game's main mechanics is censoring articles. You do this by clicking on paragraphs that seem inappropriate. When censored, that content won't be shown to the public and will affect neither their opinion nor the government's suspicion of you. You can also change the headline by clicking on it. Different headlines can change the portrayal of an article. Okay. Welcome to the extraordinary and amazing soon-to-be GOTY winner, the Westport Independent. Neat. Gotcha. Employees. Tutorial article. This part is about your employees. When you've censored an article, it needs to be transcribed. To do this, put it in one of the named folders on the bottom right. The employees all have different opinions, and they'll be discussing how you run your paper. They also have their lives to protect, so don't blame them if they don't wish to follow you into death. Let's just censor that. Alright, so that'll go in denied articles. Along with that, well, the Public Culture Bill has been passed. New bill has been passed, forces independent media outlets to shut down. The Public Culture Bill that the government presented last year has today been passed. The purpose of the new bill is to stop the creation and distribution of incorrect and improper content. It will force independent media outlets to either shut down or join the new government-funded union called the Loyalist News and Media Association. Seems nice and generic. Let's send that to Julie. Loyalist government pursues harsher actions against suspected rebels. A new reform has been passed that will hasten the arrests of rebel supporters. The reform consists of exceptions in various privacy laws, allowing police to expedite search warrants. Most of these exemptions apply to ex-criminals with relation to the rebels. However, some exceptions also apply to civilians who have expressed disloyal opinions about the government. I'm going to send that one to, say, Frank. Send to print. Haven't given every employee an article to write this week. This will affect the content of your paper, which in turn will affect how many papers you'll sell. No. Do we... give that one to Annie. We'll give that one to Phil. Alright, so we'll send those to print. Ta-da! You know, I've never been a big fan of the Loyalist government, but the public culture bill is even worse than I expected. Don't blame it on the government. Blame it on yellow journalism and the blatant lies that some newspapers post these days. There's nothing good about a misinformed public. Well, sure, yeah, sure, but do you realize how much power the government will have over the media with this? I agree with Frank on this one. I can't see how the public culture bill would be beneficial for anyone but the government. Well, media outlets like ourselves have a scary amount of power over people's opinions, but on the other hand, I don't think that giving that power to the government is the great idea either. Popularity in 3/4 goes up. Opinion is that it's loyalist? Alright. This bar illustrates your sales last week. Sure. The center represents the people of that district. The container. The light bar illustrates how many of those papers were sold. The more you sell, the more popular you get. The more popular you get, the more papers you can distribute. Okay, people's opinion will affect your sales as well. Likewise, a well-selling paper will also affect the people's opinion. Aha. People's opinion. Oh, people's political opinion, +3 rebel. Loyalist suspicion of you, +7. Your paper's total popularity, +19. Alright. Nice, sure. Let's see what's on the docket today. There is nothing more heartbreaking than a misguided public. In a world controlled by the media, the loyalist government will stop at nothing to protect the people from frivolous lies and irresponsible gossip. The public culture bill is for your protection. Yeah. Ooh, there's lots of stuff in here. Okay, let's go. Removal outsources and underdeveloped countries. Ramival abandons Westport to unemployment, outsources to underdeveloped countries. Oh, Ramival is a company. I get it. A recent report claims that industrial giant Ramival Industries has outsourced almost all of their production overseas during the last few years. Meanwhile, several factories in Westport have been shut down, leaving hundreds of people unemployed. This has allowed unemployment in areas like the eastern factories to double over the last 3 years. That doesn't seem like negative on the government, so let's give that to someone who has a loyalist leaning. Phil! Phil, you get that one. There you go, Phil. "28 people arrested for protesting. Police stop rebel riot in progress." 28 people were arrested in a protest near Warrenburth Park. The rally was against the Public Culture Bill, which will come into force later this year. The situation took a violent turn as the protesters resisted arrest by arriving officers. The protest ceased after police backup arrived. That doesn't seem not good to me, so I'm gonna just give that whole thing to Anne. Okay, then I'll give it to Julie. President protects Westport citizens against rising terrorism. President isolates the North while leaving everyone else to fend for themselves. In last night's press conference, the president discussed the safety of Westport's inhabitants. During the conference, he discussed how the rebel activities caused harm to the public. The northern suburbs have been hit worse due to their loyalty to our party, he stated. To ensure safety, government-funded guards will be placed by the district's border. Last night's press conference, the president discussed the safety of Westport's inhabitants. During the conference, he discussed how rebel activities cause harm to the public. Let's go the middle road. LNMA chairman wants to force propaganda onto the press. Or, new LNMA chairman fights for a well-informed public. Last night, the chairman discussed his upcoming plans for Westport Press. In the plan, the chairman stated that he wanted to introduce mandatory public information slots. These slots would be used by the government to spread important information to the public. The chairman means that this will keep the public well informed at all times. Man attacks police officer. One teenager was caught writing rebel messages on walls close to Liberty Square. A police officer witnessed the act and intervened by tackling the teenager. The arrest was interrupted by a passerby who pulled the officer away from the teenager. Both the man and the teenager were arrested when the officer's partner arrived on scene. Hey, looks like the girl in real life is streaming some EverQuest if you'll want to go and check it out. She does that daily, just FYI. Police officer witnessed the act and intervened by tackling the teenager. So what happens if we give someone more than one article? So if we want to, say, give Frank 2 articles. Alright, he doesn't want to... Alright. Movie star in minor car accident. Renowned movie star Harold Finn suffered an accident yesterday evening by crashing his car into a streetlight. The accident resulted in some dents to the front of the car. The streetlight was knocked down. Mr. Finn was left unscathed by the accident. Don't care. Government burns books in Liberty Square. Yesterday, Liberty Square lit up as police officers started burning books. The event was the result of a month of collecting books from various libraries and stores. The collected books were works supporting anti-government sentiments. Some protesters arrived at scene, but were easily held back by police. That one's going in the file. Yeah. This one's just garbage. I think that one's going to be denied. So... fights for a well-informed public, burns books. Yeah, yep, I like this. I've got to say, even though I was born here in Westport, since working abroad, I've had a hard time settling down. I know what you mean. I went to college outside of Westport, and it took a long time before me and my husband got used to living here again. Really? Me and my brother have lived here all our lives, so I don't really get the whole settling down thing. Same here. I've moved around town a bit, but I've never left Westport. If you ever have time, I do recommend you to do some traveling. It'll open up your perspective on things. That's something that Canadians are actually really good at, is traveling and learning other countries' perspectives. I've only really been to the States myself, but I've been across Canada, and it's vastly different. What's that supposed to mean? Means you're a government dupe, Phil. 10 weeks left until the Public Culture Bill comes into force. Opinion is that we're rebel slanted, eh? Uh-oh. Oh no, we're down 6 in popularity. Uh-oh. Dear editor, as you are probably aware by now, when we were finally able to stop the notorious Northern Herald from spreading their lies to the public, we were also forced to shut down their affiliated marketing agency. As it so happens, your paper, the Westport Independent, used the same agency. This means that from now on, you'll have to take care of advertising yourselves. Additionally, because of your affiliation with the perpetrators, we'll be keeping a close eye on you for the time being. The Loyalist Party of Westport. Dear editor, one of your employees, Frank, has recently written quite a few questionable articles for your paper. We expect you to show your people proper discipline in order to prevent events such as these, especially since the regarded employee has a history of disloyal behavior. You will do well to remember that reluctance in this matter will reflect poorly not only on your employee, but on you as well, the Loyalist Party of Shitheads. Southern Docks, Eastern Factories, Western Districts, Northern Suburbs. Northern Herald shuts its doors. Today, after almost a century of publication, the popular magazine The Northern Herald released its final issue. Its sudden dismantlement was due to violations of the guidelines set up in preparation for the Public Culture Bill. The paper's marketer, which was responsible for advertising several of Westport's other independent newspapers, was also shut down. This is, I think, going to Frank. Police officer charged with misconduct. Removal Industries suffers further financial losses. New cafe pays homage to movie star. New bill to make sure cinemas show proper material. Riots. Mercury found in fish from Southern Docks. Fish from the Southern Docks could kill you. This morning, a shipment of fish from the docks was found to contain a dosage of mercury exceeding the national guidelines. Viewed as a potential health hazard, the shipment was confiscated. Medical officials, however, confirmed that the dosage is still below lethal amounts. The public is advised to avoid purchasing fish from the Southern Docks. I see. So that's just going to anger people in the Southern Docks. Riots in the Southern Docks. Yesterday, a small riot erupted in the Southern Docks. A mob smashed windows and set fire to trash cans. Police tried to intervene, but were quickly overpowered by the rioters. The riot ended after backup arrived and 8 people were arrested. Let's see what's wrong with this one. I'm going to give it to Phil. New bill to make sure cinemas show proper material. A new bill passed today will ensure cinemas only show government-approved content. The government will create new institution responsible for examining movies before public screening. The bill will come into force 1 month after the Public Culture Bill. Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to give that to the... Why? What's the matter with this article? I'll force her to write it. Public police officer charged with misconduct. Today, the ongoing trial of local law officer Daniel Samuels concluded with a verdict. Found guilty of gross misconduct and endangering innocent lives, Samuel was sentenced to life. Samuels was charged with refusing to follow orders to execute an arrested rebel bomber. She was only 15 years old, Samuel reportedly stated. Had quite a bad year. No. Small cafe is opened during the next week's grand opening. Finn himself will... Yeah, no, that's fine. Aha, we're doing the layout, are we? Pick articles from here and drag them into the empty pages of the paper. Sure. Ah, now we have to market between the different districts. Interesting. Okay. New hard-boiled stories every day. Government sectors, legal bureaus, celebrity news, industrial news, cafes and restaurants, heavy industries and steel mills, shipping and logistics and fishing. Aha, so... What? Hover over what? Sure. Is what we do. Okay. Not only the news, but now movies as well, makes you wonder what the government wants to control next. Well, I for one wouldn't want to expose my son to smut like that. Besides, it's not like they're censoring news, it's just entertainment. A few hundred years ago, they said the same thing about the theater, and now it's considered a fine art. Those are far from the same thing. Films can never hope to achieve the same kind of reality as actual actors on stage. I guess you're not a fan of records then, Phil. I guess you've never experienced the difference between a recorded orchestra and a live symphony then, Julie. Week 3. 9 weeks left, eh? I don't know how many weeks we're going to be able to do. Ha ha. We're very popular where it counts. What? 20? I didn't think we were that propagandical. Alright. Pulp writer starts cult. Pulp writer Pete E. Roberts has gained some new popularity by claiming to have unlocked psychic powers. Offering to share his secrets for a price, the author has opened a new institute in his home. This is due to his claims that his powers can only be used inside his home. He has already received several applications. Go away. Government informant killed in fire. New law to combat illegal workers. Police prevent attempted bombing. Improved equipment for Westport Police. Let's see. Government slashes budget to militarize police. Yesterday, the government announced a new set of policies for Westport's police. If the police fall, the people are left defenseless. We can't ever allow that to happen, claimed officials. Included in these is the right for officers to request military-grade equipment for riot control. To afford this, several existing social benefit programs will be slashed. Do it. Local factory hires women workers. A local shell factory announced today its intention to bring women into the workplace. The owner described this as both with the times and cost-effective. The announcement came shortly after a massive strike against the company's dangerous working environment. There's always somebody right for the job, the owner said to the press. Huh. Let's just put a button in that one for now. Police prevent attempted bombing. Yesterday, a bomber was prevented from arming a large supply of explosives outside a government office. This occurred in a small van parked outside the building. The perpetrator was caught by a security guard who found the van suspicious. A local rebel group are believed to be behind the incident. Sure. Let's give that one to Julie. Sorry, Anne. Brave patriot murdered in terrorist plot. Last night, a fire broke out in the middle of the Eastern District in the home of Rob Gretty. The cause of the fire is still unknown, but neither Gretty nor his family survived. Gretty was an ex-rebel who provided the government with vital information in the months before his death. Police have yet to issue a statement, but speculate rebel retaliation. Let's give that one to Julie. Why? Alright, fine. Nobody wants that article. Let's see what happens here. New law to combat illegal workers. Today, Parliament passed a new law to combat the rise of illegal immigration. It will require all workers to supply a Westport Social Security number before being hired. Employers will also be charged for employing refugees or citizens lacking citizenship. Well, that one. You can write that one okay? Fashion designer's secret lover speaks out. Female model claims to have traded intimate favors, only to get fired after falling out. Yeah, we don't care. Alright, proceed to layout. Police prevent attempted bombing. Let's do it. Alright, so crime news, societal news, industrial news. Yep, that's going to be our paper. Passed through the southern docks on my way home to pick up some stuff for my friend. My gosh, that place just becomes more run down every year. I'm surprised you even dare to go there. There are just so many criminals there who will rob you blind if you make a single mistake. It's not that bad. I've walked through there before, and while it's a rowdy place to say the least, personally I've never been attacked. I've got to agree with Phil on this one. I've had friends who've been assaulted there, so there's no way I'd go near that place without reliable company. A woman probably shouldn't walk alone in those parts of the city anyways. A woman should be able to walk alone anywhere without fear for her life. Everyone should. Unfortunately, that's not the way the world works. Alright, we're going to do one more week, and then I'm sorry that's going to be it. In fact, I don't think we can do one more week. I kind of gotta go. So, sorry about that, everybody. At least our popularity is paying off. We're... Aha! +3. That's better than +20. Our popularity took a hit. Man... Alright, we'll read what this... Dear editor, one of your employees, Julie, has for the last few weeks created content for your newspaper that can only be described as disloyal. Her frivolous behavior of jumping from nest to nest has made her lose sight of her roots. Her naive mind must be taught the position she's in. If not, punishment will fall on both of your heads. The Loyalist Party... Okay. Screw off. Join the president. Birthday celebration. Blech. And trust in numbers, not in government. In a world where information is controlled by those in power, trust should be put in the people, not in the authorities. Join the rebellion today. Can we hang that somewhere? I'm not sure how to deal with that, but unfortunately, we're going to have to revert your game back to the beginning of the week. Yes. We're going to have to call it a day here. Thank you for joining me on Game a Day while we played the Westport Independent. If you enjoyed this video, please give it the old thumbs up. Give it some love. And especially if you enjoyed this video, remember that the first video on this channel to get 100 likes will get that game a full video playthrough as a bonus for the channel. So if you want that game to be the Westport Independent, please give it some love and tell your friends to give it some love too. Yeah. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, also hit that subscribe button. And when you do, be sure to hit that dingy bell, because that will let you know when I upload new videos, which I do every single day. My name is Step. We have been playing the Westport Independent, a game about censorship, corruption, and newspapers, here on Game a Day. Thanks so much for joining me today, and please come back tomorrow when we'll be playing something.